Hey guys, what's going on? So I've been following this case for a few months, and it's a guy in Texas whose son is saying that he wants to be a girl, and his wife is suing him to be able to give his son hormone blockers and chemically castrate him. So the mother won. She won the right just a few days ago to chemically castrate her 7-year-old son, and the kids aren't even biologically hers. They used in vitro fertilization, but I guess it was like 11 out of 12 of jurors voted for her right to be able to do so. And this is in Dallas, Texas, of all places. It's crazy. This is unreal. Right? And transgenderism only affects such a small part of the population. There's no evidence to show that sexual reassignment surgery or hormone blockers getting one person to change to another sex, not that they really ever can, but it doesn't correct gender dysphoria, right? The suicide rate goes up after the surgeries. All these hormones give you issues. I even have issues with birth control. I mean, no synthetic hormones at all. That's just my opinion. But I'm like, are we in the Twilight Zone? And the fact is, like, I think she's a doctor, but I wonder if, like, I'm very curious if there were red flags in this relationship before. Amazing Lucas, I know he's been following it too. I don't know if he's done a video yet, but I know he did a video and he was talking about, he found this girl. He was like, he had me rolling. He was like, I found this girl. This is, she was wifey. I'm like, this is it. This is my girl. We're going to get married. And then she started talking about the transgender stuff, and he was like, yeah, I'm out and I'm bouncing, right? And I see a lot, or I have seen a lot of my friends see red flags in their potential mates. Like, you guys know how hardcore I am about vaccines on this channel. And that's a deal breaker for me if I like somebody and they're pro-vax. Like, there's no fucking way, okay? No compromise. No, oh, maybe they'll grow into it. No, I've seen so many of my friends or people that I know that have done that, and especially if they want to have kids. And usually, never fails, they end up getting divorced, and the pro-vax parents usually uses the fact that the parent that's anti-vaccine, they'll use that against them and usually vaccinate and because everybody's brainwashed and the establishment agrees with that, then the parent that is pro-vaccine either gets custody of the kids or they get split custody, but the kids still have to be forced vaccinated. That would devastate me. That would break my heart. And in this case, now they're doing it for sexual reassignment surgery. Whoever wrote me in, I guess, the last interview that I did, and they're like, depopulation, really? Yeah, really. Why are they allowing this to happen for such a small percentage of the population? Why are they brainwashing children through school books? Why are they letting books, reading books to kids about, boys dressing in dresses? But yet when somebody writes a book, I interviewed the author of this guy that wrote a book named No Dress for Timmy. He writes a book for kids about a boy that objects to that. He gets banned. Okay? This is insane. Are we, I know, I guess according to New Age, Buddhist philosophy, I chose this reality. But I'm like, did I really? Some days I wake up, I'm like, for real? I can't believe a lot of this stuff is happening. A lot of good stuff is happening too. But this transgender situation, especially with forcing it into kids and forcing it on TV shows and forcing children, that's child abuse. That's just as bad as molestation or Satanism. Google, or you can even see a bunch of videos on YouTube too about people that transitioned when they were kids and now they regret it. They regret it, Kids that fucking make a sandwich. You think they know who they are. They might have these feelings, but you know, there are doctors that have testified when these kids get to a certain age, they you know, like when they go through puberty, either these feelings will go away or they'll end up being gay. But you know, like messing up their hormones, like infertility. What if somebody, like this happens to somebody and they grow out of it and then they decide they want to have children, but they can't because they're infertile, right? His penis is only going to grow to a certain size. It's not going to be, if he does these hormone blockers, he's going to be like a big man with a small penis. And the thing, messed up thing is too, is they don't tell you this. In order for you to have the sexual reassignment surgery, your penis has to be, almost said private, and I was like, I already said it. But anyway, it has to be a certain size for you to even have the surgery. If you're like a grown man with the small, with the child's penis, then you won't be able to, allergies. You won't be able to have the surgery. Somebody like wrote in the comments, they're like, why are you always sniffing? I have allergies. I mean, I'm way better than I used to be, but just Texas, man, just allergies everywhere. Anyway, yeah. So I don't even know. It just seems like this. It's. Have you ever read Brave New World, you guys, or seen the movie at least? You guys get the. They have this, you know. If you haven't, I'll just sum it up. In society in the future, which is, we're pretty close to that now. Like everybody's on drugs, and like they call it soma, but it's like antidepressants and all this other, you know, like SSRI drugs and all of these sleeping pills and stuff, you know, just to help people to cope. And nobody has vaginal births anymore. They're all like test tube babies. And then you have the whole like with the sex thing, right? Everybody, this sexual promiscuity everywhere. Everybody belongs to everybody, and they say, oh, it's selfish to not be able to want to have sex with somebody, or you're a terrible person if you only want to have sex with certain people and not other people, right? So it's interesting, right? That's where that whole mentality comes in, where if, you know, I think there was like, I forgot, it was an athlete or something, and he was asked if he would ever like date a transsexual, and he was like, no. And they're like, oh, you're homophobic, you know? Where's this going, you guys? You have to think about this. You have to think about who is pushing this agenda. There's an agenda. If you don't know that there are agendas, I mean, everybody has an agenda. I have an agenda. You know, I want to inform people, you know, about what information I know, what's going on. I want to connect with people. But who are these people that have such an agenda that is so large and huge? They're pushing this around the world globally, that they're you know, they're willing to chemically castrate children, you know. At least wait till they're 18, and even then I know people that have regretted it. You know, there was this case in Australia. There was this little boy, and his mom let him start transitioning, and I don't think he got chemically castrated. He was put on like hormones to make him more feminine. And by the time he got to teenager, he was like, I want to be a boy again. But now he has breasts, and now he has his face is softened up. So they were trying to reverse all the damage they had done. And what I found interesting, the father wasn't in the picture. And I really truly believe, had the father been in the picture, that wouldn't have went down. And it probably was a case of him not having a father and just maybe imitating his mother and seeing his mother when he was a kid, and just not really having a strong male figure in his life. Could have been as easy as that. But I also have talked about all the hormone, you know, all the hormones that they're adding in the water. You know, the synthetic hormones that have been found in the water. You know, if you look at the gay frog study, it really, you know, frogs started off as heterosexual, and then they spent time in the water. They ended up mating with frogs of the same sex. I think it's been discovered in shrimp too, and then some other animal forms. I'm not gonna say shrimp. I was some sea. Oh, the shrimp were committing suicide. That's what it was. But some other animals that they've discovered this too. There's a study with birds where they had unnatural amounts of aluminum in their environment, and they start off as heterosexual, and then they start to go homosexual. So like I said in other videos, I think that a lot of this is also sexual trauma, because a lot of people I know that are gay or have been transsexual, they've had sexual trauma. I think it could be chemically induced, but nobody wants to look at those. They just want to like cut your, you know, your privates off and mutilate you and turn you into a freak. That doesn't help either. It doesn't. So what's going on here, you guys? I don't know. I just had to comment on that. That's some crazy sauce, like just unreal crazy sauce. That poor father, that crazy ass mother. Like, was she that hot that he didn't see how crazy she was before? Or did she become crazy because she was on maybe hormones or these fucking SSRI drugs herself, and that made her crazy? You know? I don't know, man. But, you know, you guys looking for mates out there, y'all need to like ask, like have a list of stuff that are definite deal breakers. And that would be one, if I was dating a dude and he was down with this, like, you know, gender transition stuff for kids. That's some bullshit. Okay. Anyway, that's it, y'all. Talk to you later. Peace, truth, love. Bye-bye. Mwah.